Hi ladies and gentlemen, and this project involves technology testing for the ability to control shrivel in cold stored plums and nectarines. The control of shrivel on fruit is rapidly becoming a serious challenge, with pressure from consumers and governments to limit the use of single-use petroleum-based plastics. These are currently used as liners to prevent moisture loss from fruit packed in boxes, and hence alternatives are required. The objective of this study is to scan available technologies and/or technologies under development to gain an understanding of the potential of each and subsequently identify individual or combination treatments to achieve commercial success. Just a quick material and methods. The plums and nectarines were sourced from commercial packhouses and repacked with the required packaging treatment. Some of the fruit received a fruit coating that was being applied on a commercial pack line, and others were hydrocooled as stated in the work plan. Fruit were weighed at intake and after shelf life to determine the mass loss from the fruit of each treatment per cultivar and fruit type. Fruit quality assessments were conducted after single temperature cold storage plus shelf life. If we look at the results of the Tiffany nectarines stored for 35 days at -0.5 degrees Celsius plus a shelf life of 5 days at 10 degrees Celsius, we'll clearly see that the mass loss in grams was significantly higher on fruit hydrocooled, fruit packed without a wrapper in a bag, and fruit receiving a fruit coating. Then the second best one was the standard perforated nectarine wrapper, and then the best treatment was the 36 by 4 millimeter perforated bag, giving only 36.4 grams mass loss, being significantly lowest. The mass loss percentages was obviously linked to the grams, so that gave us the same trends, with the hydrocooling, the fruit coating, and the no wrapper bag being the highest mass loss in percentage wise, and then the best two was the standard perforated nectarine wrapper and the 36 by 4 millimeter perforated bag. If we look at the shrivel percentages, it gave us a good idea of the mass loss that was linked to the shrivel because of the high levels of shrivel in the no wrapper and bag, the hydrocooling, and the fruit coating, with the second lowest being the standard perforated nectarine wrapper, and then significantly lower than most of the other treatments were the 36 by 4 millimeter perforated bag. The best of the rest was the paper liner, the thick one with the 55 GSM. If we look at the results of African Delight plums that were stored for 42 days at -0.5 degrees Celsius plus a shelf life of 5 days at 10 degrees Celsius, we can clearly see that the no wrapper bag at the normal lower humidity gave a significantly higher mass loss in grams compared to the 36 by 4 millimeter perforated bag. The standard perforated bag with 54 by 4 millimeter perforations was the second best treatment, and then the best of the alternatives was the paper liner, also the thick one, the 55 GSM. Obviously the mass loss percentages was linked to the grams, so that was the same as for mass loss, and then one can see that the shrivel was significantly higher on the no wrapper and bag with 75% compared to the 36 by 4 millimeter perforated bag being significantly lower, as well as the standard 54 by 4 millimeter perforated bag being also significantly lower. And then the best of the rest once again was the paper liner, the 55 GSM, with it being the thick paper. If we look at the conclusion summary, all the fruit packed in the 36 by 4 millimeter polyethylene perforated bag exhibited significantly lower mass loss and shrivel levels. The second best treatment was fruit packed in the standard PE perforated wrappers, hydrocooling was not a good alternative for the shrivel control. The thick paper, the 55 GSM liner, was the best alternative to the polyethylene perforated bags and wrappers, and the thin 19 GSM paper was prone to tearing if not used with care. More research on this alternatives is recommended as a matter of urgency. I just want to thank WardGrow for funding and continued support, and all staff at Experico for inputs and assistance. Thank you very much.